Yo, 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 good people. Welcome to the HerbMan Show.
Yo, 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 good people. It's your homie HerbMan, and you back upside the head with another hot banger boogie. Hey, look, go tell somebody your homie HerbMan is on. And if you're new to our program, welcome. Go ahead and hit that logo right at the bottom of your screen right there and hit that notification bell so that you never miss what we're bringing to the world. All right. Now, I am your resident herbalist, your resident healer, your resident brother. All right. And I'm just here to help educate you guys on what we can utilize to help heal ourselves. Okay, that's what this platform is about. If you guys are new to the platform, now you know. If you guys are original to the platform, now you kind of get exactly what we're actually trying to do here. All right. So without further ado, we're talking about the crisis that America is in. All right. America and the world is in a crisis. Okay. We are in a crisis. And what we need to do, and I'm not just talking about from a conglomerate, I'm talking about all the way down to each of us dealing with our own individual crisis. Our children are dealing with issues that they should not be dealing with from every which way. It's not just about health. It's not just about education. It's about what's going on internally. All right. I think that we are in an internal battle, a spiritual warfare, but it has a lot to do with who we are from a physical, emotional, and mental standpoint as well. Okay. And so when I say that, that means that we're all in a crisis, because we're all trying to follow a unnatural model for life, and that is the capitalistic model. Now, you may say, or you may disagree with that, and that's perfectly fine. A lot of us who love the capitalistic model is because we have gotten the benefits of being a capitalist. We have gotten out of it the thing which is the derivative of capitalism, which is the money, right? But what is happening is that you have two types of people that are still under the same crisis, that are dealing with the same stressors and don't even know it. See, the one person is getting the money or getting the benefits of the capitalistic environment, but is still under stress for the continuance of their legacy, their business, their corporation, okay, their financial ideas, their wealth. And that stress of waking up every day trying to get more, trying to find more, trying to build more is still a stress. And then the other individual who does not have any, who does not see the benefits from capitalism is still under stress. The stress of trying to figure out when is my next meal going to come, trying to figure out what's the next day going to bring, trying to figure out how I'm going to eat, where I'm going to stay for the night, all of these different things. Where am I going to work at right now? Okay, how am I going to generate some income, some cash flow? Those people are also under high level of stress. So you got two people. The people that are benefiting from the environment is still on a high level of stress to continue what they started. And then you got the other individual that is not receiving anything from the capitalistic environment, but still is pursuing on an everyday basis just for survival sakes. So one guy is almost adding on to, and the other guy just needs something. Both are under high levels of stress to survive. And that is the crisis that is causing all of the chaos in the world, and especially in America. So you say, why you say that? Okay, so you got to look at what are we dealing with? Okay, a lot of us, for the most part, are dealing with financial crisis. Okay, especially during this particular environment where we're dealing with the pandemic, the virus. We don't really know when we're going to go back to work, when we're going to be able to make the money that we were used to making, or if you're a person who was seeking work for the first time. Let's say you're 18, let's say you're 17, 18 years old, you really haven't even got your feet wet in the market yet, and now the market is shut down. Okay, and that you don't really have the fullness of the opportunities out here because we're under lock and key right now, right? So a lot of people, even though you may be just starting out, or even though you had already started out, you're still dealing with financial crises. And let me tell you something, financial crises has been happening in a lot of neighborhoods in America way before the virus ever happened. There are a lot of people who have already been dealing with financial crisis on a day-to-day basis, okay? And so we're here in the capitalistic environment and we're still dealing with financial crises, although we are in an environment that's all about finances. You would think that that would cover everybody, right? If everybody here is seeking or pursuing money, right? And if we're a capitalistic environment and we have all of the money, quote unquote, we should be able to divvy it out and everybody should have an equal fair share. But we see that it's not being like that, right? There's a ratio out there where it's only the 1% has more wealth than the other 99%. So there's no equality in the capitalization of things. There is no equality, and when there's no equality in any area, it will create a crisis. So we're in a financial crisis for the most part. Secondly, a lot of us are dealing with health crisis, right? Whether it be actual disease, actual sickness, or if we're just dealing with foods to eat, the right foods to eat, the right things to drink. What am I supposed to eat on a daily basis? How many calories am I supposed to have? How many, how much percentage of carbs, of fats, of proteins that I'm supposed to have? The keto says this, the paleo says this. Well, the blood type diet says this, and then a doctor may come out and says, no, that's not healthy for you, or no, that's not even really good for you. No, don't drink this. No, don't eat that. So you don't really know. Okay, you don't really know where to go to find the truth, and you don't really know what to do to make things curtail to who you are as an individual, and therefore you're still in that tug of war of eating healthy or not, because hey, you don't really know what's healthy and what's not. If somebody tells you that everything in the grocery store is bad and you don't want to grow your own food and that's all you have to deal with, then you're going to probably say the hell with it, let me go in here and eat whatever I want, because this is the only place I have to shop. Okay, where I'm located right now, we have to drive at least 10, 15, 20 minutes away just for Whole Foods. Okay, so, and we're in a predominantly predominantly good neighborhood. Everybody out here is making pretty good income, and you still don't have the avenues that you need for fresh foods. Okay, so again, a lot of us are dealing with health crisis. Okay, just every day. The mental health is also a part of this crisis, and so again, we're going back to this capitalistic environment where you're dealing with high levels of stress. When a person is dealing with high levels of stress, sometimes that could deboggle the mind. Okay, and then you don't really know where to go and how to do certain things and where to start. Okay, and that can cause an internal battle, that can cause an internal stress, that can cause an internal anxiety. Okay, because you need to do something and you need to be somewhere, but you just don't know how to get there. Where do I start? How do I begin this journey? I need to get out of this rut, but how? How? And when how is still the question for you, young man, young woman, then you're in a crisis. And that crisis can also alter your ability to think rationally. And you can start doing things out of the basic necessity to survive out here. And then here we come with, all of these, the laws and this, that, and the third. But who is just going to be here and just turn over and die because you won't employ them? Not most people. Most people are going to find a hustle. They're going to find a way to create some kind of income so that they can survive. Okay. But with that being said, they're still dealing with some sense of crises. Okay. And then thirdly, we have the crisis of equality. Now, this equality is in every facet of life, in every category. Okay, when we're talking about the social injustices, it's about equality. When we're talking about women's rights, gays' rights, however you want to believe, whatever you believe in, it's really truly down to equality. Even when we're talking about our health, we're talking about our nutrition and our foods. We're talking about big pharma and big drug companies. We're talking about all of these different people that are influencing the world or the American society, but they will not allow the society to influence them, the corporations. So what you have is corporations against the people. Now, back in my day, we realized that people were the corporation. People were the corporation. The people are the United States of America. It's not the other way around. America didn't give anything to us. We are the Americans, therefore this is America. There will be no America without the Americans. You see what I'm saying? So we are the prized possession. But again, we're not in an equal share of the profits that we bring to the table here in America as being Americans. The corporations take all of the glory, all of the funds, all of the clout, and they only give us the crumbs off their table. This is causing a crisis. Okay? The injustices, the social injustices, when one people get locked up for something more than the other, that is unequal. Okay? That causes a social injustice crisis. When people have access to good food and the other people don't, i.e. what I just said in my community, that is unequal access to great fresh foods. That is inequality, causes crises. Okay? When we're talking about our education system, it's unequal, unrivaled to some of our peers. That will cause a crisis. And you may not necessarily see that in the now, but it definitely will have its ramifications in the future. And trust me, they know. They know. So they're not banking for it to happen now. They're just banking for it to take its toll. It's the same way with what we're dealing with when we're talking about slavery and all these types of things. People think that we have gotten beyond that, and for the most part, we have, outside of understanding that residual that still holds a really big part in the mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical state of the people who were involved in it. I'm gonna give you a perfect example. If you were a slave or a slave owner, you still got affected by that from a mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical standpoint. Because if you are a kindred to the slave owner, you have this idea that you run, own, and manage everything, right? That you are the man. Why? Because my family been the man. We've been doing this. We've been managing. We've been had money all throughout our lineage, and we've been doing this thing, right? Because we got it from the backs of slaves. So how you gonna tell me how to run my industries or my corporations and my companies and all these things that I got from my forefathers doing what they did? And so now you have this, I'm entitled to live a certain way because of where I came from and who I came from mentality. That's the slave owner situation. Then you also have what is happening to the slave, and the residual that happened to that individual is that they feel like, because of the dichotomy of that you're supposed to be managing, you're supposed to be running, you're supposed to be leading everything, which is why we're okay to continue to vote outside of our color, no pun intended. But my point is that these are the things that we have to understand that are still affecting us and causing crisis to happen on the internal fortitude of the individuals in America and in the world. And these things are wreaking havoc on us on a day-to-day basis, and they're causing us to live in high stress levels. And so when we're talking about the virus and the pandemic and all of this, right now the virus is very, very dangerous to those who are already dealing with something, okay? Who are already dealing with something. But what happens when something else comes out that is far more stronger, that can take people out who don't have anything? What are you going to do then? What are you going to do when it will get the healthy down and out? Instead of just being very, very hard on the underlying conditions of people. They're already sick. What are you going to do when a virus comes out here that will take you off your feet no matter what health condition you're in? Because you never really thought about those things. So what is happening when we're dealing with these high levels of stress right here, because of these particular crises that are going on, we make it very easy for outside sources to come into our bodies because our immune system is broken down due to unhealthy foods, due to us being stressing over our finances, due to us stressing over our sickness or over our disease. We get even sicker. Okay? There are more people that get sicker after they hear the word cancer than before. There are more people that get sicker after they hear they got diabetes or AIDS or all this other stuff than before you tell them. Why? Because stress and worryation sets in. And a lot of people give up on life right after somebody tells them something. And that's not the way to go. That's actually backwards. So that's why we tell you guys about the preventative ways. Demand equality. Demand equality, and you will relieve or alleviate some of the high level stressors that you are dealing with due to the capitalistic environment that you are currently in. Remember, I told you there's only two people here. The people that's trying to get it and the people that have already got it. And they still, both of them have to do work. One person has to do work to keep it, and the other person has to do work to get it. Okay? So this is causing us to really, really deal with this cognitive understanding here. Because when you're under these high levels of stress, now you're talking about your nervous system being one of the main systems of the body. Now you're talking about this thing which is sending synapses and sending signals and sending messages all throughout your body here. So it first starts here in the mind, here in the brain. So again, now we're talking about television, radio, all of the stuff you're looking on your social media feed, all of the things that you're hearing, all of this stuff is starting to affect this. And so they start here with the brain. Because they understand that in order for me to get anything from the neck down, right? So this is your prized possession, the body. But it's also my prized possession if I'm an employer. I need your body in a seat to produce. I need your body in my truck to work with me. I need your body in the field as an extra hand so we can do more and more and more. See what I'm saying? So the body is what all of everybody is vying for. How they convince the whole body to come and join something starts in the brain. Okay? So if you want to join McDonald's with their restaurants, if you want to join Burger King and their food, if you want to join Crystal's, KFC, whatever the name of it is, if you want to join this organization, if you want to eat this food, if you want to go to that grocery store, if you want to take your children to this school, if you want to live in this neighborhood, it all starts here, you guys. It all starts in the brain, okay? Because they know that once I can work on here and get permanency, residence up in this part of it, then you will make this come to that which you believe in. So all commercials, all news, all TVs is trying to do is detain you. All right, so they enter you to detain you for a minute so that you can hear the pitch. And they hope that in that detainment, while they enter you here, that they can convince you that you're hungry right now, that you want a Big Mac, that you want a Whopper, that you want a chicken sandwich, that you want some hot dogs, some hamburgers. You want to go to Ingles. You need to live over here in this neighborhood. You want this money. You need to go to this school, right? And so that's what this thing is all about here. And once they get this, then it starts to wreak havoc on the other areas. Now, it's ironic that first they start with the mind, right? But when we're talking about the stressors, we're talking about the endocrine system. This is really where the thyroid gland comes into, right? So now they're here. The nervous system send it down to your T3, T4s, right? These are your messengers that send it down to your other organs, right? You're going to know whether fight or flight. Right? So that's either you're either dealing with a situation either where you're about to jump into something for something, or you're about to run away from something, right? So either way, that's the crisis. That's the spiritual battle. Do I fight it or do I flee? Do I fight the equality indifferences or do I flee them? Do I fight the situation with my income and why I can't get ahead in life, or do I flee, just give up? Do I fight the social injustices or do I flee, give up? Do I fight the health inequalities or do I flee, give up? That's in every single thing you got to do. That's in every single decision you got to make. You see what I'm saying? So again, when you're up under this capitalistic environment, everything leads finally down to a dollar bill. So you're sitting there trying to quantify how you're going to make the dollar, and you only have two choices: fight to make the dollar or flight to make the dollar. Okay? You only have two choices. And these are the decisions that you're making with everything that's being computed here. Then your thyroid is telling the body what it needs to do for the situation it has. So, okay, when we're dealing with this financial crisis here, we're going to fight it. We're going to educate ourselves on it. We're going to get involved in it. We're going to see what we can do to help our income, to save here, to invest here, to just know a little bit more about it so that we can be more conscious about our finances, so that we can handle these a little bit more appropriately. So you decided then to fight your financial crisis. Okay? You're dealing with health crisis. Well, the food bad, people are getting sick out here, it's breaking down our immune system. Man, I don't know what to do. I'm just going to continue to do what I'm doing. You decided to flee. You see what I'm saying? So this decision, you're only making two decisions for everything that's going on. You're either going to fight or you're going to flight it. So you got to understand exactly what's going on and why this area your brain is the most important area to get your body. And remember to stay focused, and remember to understand that it's all about adding a body. From relationships all the way on up to corporate structure, it's about adding a body. And just like they want you to sell their products or promote their products, it's the same way they do you in the interview process. They are selling their business to you. This is what we can do. This is our 401k. This is our benefits, right? This is a great company. We've been in existence for 25 years. We got over 1,000 employees. All of these are pitches to you. Why? Because they want you to see longevity in the business that they're in. They want you to see your financial abilities in particular in this particular industry. They want you to see how great the company is, how substantial the company is. They're throwing pitches to you. And then when you get hired on, they teach you how to pitch their products to the masses. And it's still the same formula. It's all about what you say here. Because they want the whole body to come into their store and purchase, or they want the whole body to type on their little computer and purchase. But you can't get your fingers to press enter on the purchase, and you can't get your body to drive to a store to purchase anything without it being confirmed here. So the American crisis has now started to seep over into the world. Because now the world is dealing with and trying to adopt the capitalistic model, which is going to, in return, is going to put high levels of stress on the people of that nations. And when you're dealing with high levels of stress, you automatically start to deplete your immune system. You automatically open up a little door in your immune system. So you want to know why we are being dealt with the pandemic so abruptly, so egregiously? Because we, my friends, are under the highest levels of stress known to the world. And because of that, and because of these crises that we are dealing with, it makes it very easy for anybody to come in and start to wreak havoc. Now, this understanding, this thing that I'm talking about an outside source coming in, it's the same thing that I've been talking to you about before. Whether you're talking about a germ coming into your immune system, whether you're talking about a UFO coming into your body, whether you're talking about endocrine disruptors, whatever name you want to use, it's the same analogy that I'm talking to you about when I'm dealing with your brain. Foreign words and things and ideals, unnatural ideas that are not really coincided with the universe. They come into your portal and they start to attack the brain, and they're vying for time for you to do some things that goes against nature, that are really unnatural to the human concept. And we're doing a lot of that, and we're allowing a lot of these germs to come into our brains, which in the form of ideas, and tell us things to do when we don't need to really be doing them. So you also have unidentified ideas. Where they come from? Why would you think to do that? You know, why would you think to do that? A lot of us, sometimes we look at our kids like, where do you get that from? An unidentified idea. That's no different than the germs coming into the immune system or the words coming into your brain. So guard your brain, guard your immune system, guard everything, you guys. But you're going to have to do something, because now is the time. I didn't want to make this long, but I definitely want to make this strong. I love you guys, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. And until next time, love HerbMan.
Yo, 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 good people. Welcome to the HerbMan